I'll pull it up in a second.
You wanna just type something real quick? Send me a message.
I should go through.
Yeah. It will only let me block or report you. What time is it? It's 8. I should get started. I'll figure out how to do this all later.
Alright.
I'll get started on this. Oh, camera fell down. I didn't realize camera keeps falling. Rip. Is that good? It's too. Uh, let's see. Oh, shit. Hopefully this holds up. What's up? Um. How you doing, Zeno? Just gonna start off real quick.
Pretty good.
That's
Doing
good.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. All right. Well, we have a big milestone today, a major milestone. Do you know what today is?
Today is August 30th.
Exactly. And it's the end of the month. So you know what that means?
That means we got our first event, baby.
First event. All right. We're covering this week. We're covering Civil War. All right. And yeah. Civil War event is this week. So just to everyone in chat, I had a lot of pictures today from the one comic that I didn't get to insert. But just to run down the comic, it's fairly old. It was written in 2006 by Mark Miller, and it's an event. So typically events will branch out into smaller one-story comics. So you'll have things like so like the new King in Black event this year was like the Venom symbiote, and that branched out into a bunch of other things, X-Men, Avengers, typically. This one definitely branched out a lot. The new if you guys saw the new Spider-Man trailer, you saw it, right? The new Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
The idea behind it is the spin-off Spider-Man event that comes right after this, Civil War. So there's a lot going on here, but pretty much we start off with it's like this really crappy superhero team, the New Warriors, and they're being filmed like camera crew filming them kind of thing. They're in Connecticut and they're hunting a group of supervillains. Cobalt Man, Speed Freak, Cold Heart, and Nitro. Those are the big guys that they're hunting, and they're all on the FBI's most wanted list. And the superhero team consists of Speedball, who's like a speedster but kind of slow. Night Thrasher, who's he's a skater. He rides a skateboard, and
Nice. That's his
he,
superpower?
yeah, he rides a skateboard. That's
He's a
what
skater.
that's what I know of him. He has like a Glock and a skateboard and like and like a helmet. Um,
That's pretty fucking dope.
um, Namorita, whose special powers is that she's the cousin of King Namor the Atlantean. So just like a she's just like a fish character. She can
Hmm.
like breathe underwater and do stuff. And Microbe, who can he can't command them, but he can talk to micro organisms. He can't
Yeah,
make them do
that's a
things. He can
lame
just
ass superpower.
talk to them.
What did
he
they fucking say?
he can just talk to them, and he's really obese in this one in this comic for some reason. Like typically what I thought of Microbe, like I've seen him like once, and he was like fairly fit, but he's like genuinely obese in this one. So I genuinely don't know how much of a use he is, but pretty much they're upset. They're sneaking around the supervillain's house, and they're like, look, man, we can't really we haven't been getting any views because Nova left, right? Nova being a big Avenger character, he left, and we haven't gotten any views. The last fight we fought was a homeless man with a peg leg, and that was our last win. We got to really make sure we win this week. And they get off to like a cracking start, man. The camera crew's rolling. The new warriors get in there and they start beating the crap out of the supervillains before they put on their uniform, and they take everyone out. And it's really great. They knock everybody out, and then there's Nitro. They pin him to a school, right? Like a school bus kind of thing. They slam him into it, Namorita.
Okay.
And Nitro. Do you know who Nitro is? The X-Men character, the X-Men villain.
Rings a bell,
He
probably.
he was in the Wolverine cartoon from Nickelodeon. He's the guy that can
I didn't see
self-destruct.
him there, but I'm pretty sure I know.
He's the guy
Yeah.
that can self-destruct. So they pin him down to a school bus, and this dude says, "I'm not going to jail again," and blows himself up
Oh
on a
no.
school. It takes out the entire block, and there's a bunch of like dead kids, like 800 dead kids, and
Oh
all of it
God.
was filming live. Camera crew was watching, filmed live, and like 800 kids are dead, and this is a big national tragedy going on right now. Um, that like they just killed off like all these kids just you know. And so here you get to the main Civil War comic, Cap standing over a Burt school, like the flags kind of thing. And yeah, it's real upsetting. You have all the Avengers, the X-Men all working out, and there's the X-Men are real upset because the Sentinels are following them and making sure they're not doing anything they're not supposed to, while they're giving up their services. But Iron Man sets up a big funeral for because he's rich. He sets up a funeral for all the kids that had passed away, and one of the moms, she runs up to him and spits at him. She's like super pissed. She's like, "You fund these superheroes and instead of the cops, and you let them run around doing whatever the hell they want." And not all supervillains are the Green Goblin. Some of them
Mhm.
are moms that try to ruin superheroes, in my opinion, at least. Superheroes are great, running around doing whatever they want, but she runs up to them. She's pissed. Her kids are dead, and she's like, "You're the reason why my 800 kids died. You have blood on your hands because you funded all these Avengers and all these guys." And Iron Man was like, "I didn't fund these guys. They were out of their league. They weren't, But she's like, "You're the reason. You running around and not being a cop or a trained professional is why." The other people think that just because they have powers, you can let a 14-year-old kid with spider powers swing around the city or whatever, right? Kind of deal. Um, or in this case, a 14-year-old Atlantean with water powers try to fight a nuke. So things get real heated and this is what if you want to know what Happy looks like. Tony's bodyguard. This is him. Here's Tony. And she gets real upset. She's like, you can't just have all these people running around. And Peter
Oh, that's
Parker,
a loogie.
yeah, and yeah, it's real bad. She's it's a loogie.
God damn.
It's real bad. And Peter was in the crowd taking pictures of everything because it was, they wanted to see what reaction the people would get. And you cut to the Human Torch. You know how he is. He's real eccentric, partying, likes to pick up girls. So he goes down, he tries to pick up girls, and he lands with his date right outside a club. And the people waiting, and like when the VIPs get let in, they're like, "Hey, why don't you let us in too?" kind of thing. The people that are waiting. So someone gets real pissed off, and she's like, "Hey, what we want to go inside." Paris Hilton or someone big was inside. So like Human Torch lands, and he's like, if you want to get inside so bad, why don't next time, how about try and save the world from Galactus or something, right? He gives him some shit line like that, and the people get pissed, and he's like, oh yeah, next time we'll blow up a school of kids, maybe they'll let us into the nightclub, right? And yeah, it gets real heated, and Johnny's like, whoa, 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 that didn't have anything to do with me. I wasn't one of the new warriors that went and blew up a school, right? And then some guy smashed him in the back of the head with a bottle, and he got knocked out. And then they started like jumping him. They beat the crap out of him, and this is what he looked like right after and right after the thing. Sue took him to the hospital. The Invisible Woman kid just kept making sure he was okay. And the Avengers started having a big meeting, like a huge meeting at the Baxter Building. Here's Falcon and Yellow Jacket, Hank Pym, having a discussion, so you'd say. It looks fairly heated. Hear all the Avengers talking and stuff. Some of them are on the fence. They're like, like Doctor Strange is really like, I'm not an Avenger. I don't need to be here, kind of thing. I'm just making sure you guys don't, kill yourselves, kind of thing. And a lot of them were fairly like, I can't take off my mask. It's not like everyone knows everyone knows who Iron Man is. Everyone knows who the Fantastic Four is, right? Doctor Strange. But if someone like Spider-Man were to tell the whole world who he is, right? You'd have the Sandman, or the Doctor Octopus stabbing Aunt May or kidnapping Mary Jane, kind of thing, right? Knowing that where he lives, right? So and,
Yeah.
and and that's a big occurring message to a lot of these masked characters. They're like, we can't tell the world where we live, right? Everybody knows, Iron Man is Tony Stark and the X-Men live up in their mansion, but someone like Spider-Man, someone like Spider-Woman, right? Um, it's a big deal for them. Luke Cage, even Daredevil, right? So the Avengers are having their discussion, they're talking, and Captain America's with Shield, right? Shield is put into play. You need to register as one of us as a Shield member, and this is Maria Hill as director, not Nick Fury. But Maria Hill's like, we're not close the way you and Fury was, but I'm hoping we can be. You need to be able to, really make sure that you become a government official and work for Shield, right? But Captain America's kind of like, if and it's this is the other argument to it. If by working for the government, our information becomes public, and you guys deploy us where we need to be, not us going where you guys deploy us where you want us to be, not where we need to be, kind of thing, right? And they're all at each other's throats. Tensions are high, and Captain America's there talking. He's talking to Hill, and he lets her know that people in Washington are gonna get pissed off if you don't register, right? Because Captain America doesn't wanna register. He's like, this isn't what I signed up for, right? And
Okay.
Hill's kind of like, you know, um, the conversation is something like, I'm not gonna arrest the people that don't register. I'm not gonna arrest the people that laid their lives down to defend citizens. And she's like, and he'll pretty much is like, I thought supervillains were guys in masks who disobey the law and do whatever they want, kind of thing, right? And so it gets real heated, and Cap is like, she pulls up, like, the soldiers put him up at gunpoint. They have tranks on him, tranquilizers. Cap does, the Cap thing and takes two of the guards and meat shields them in front of the tranquilizers, and then beats the crap out of the specially trained force meant to take down Captain America. Yeah, he beats
Oh
the
fuck
crap out
no.
of them. He beats the crap out of them and then jumps out the helicarrier, like smashes right through the window, lands on a fighter jet. And he tells the guy's about to like eject. He breaks the window and says, "Don't," and land us. And pretty much he just flies off, lands in a football field, and Captain America, being the biggest Chad, just like, you want to get some burgers? And And the government, back in the Baxter building, the whole team is still talking. They're upset, and this is Captain America like denying Shield, and the government this like option has the superhero community split down the middle. Like he didn't register, why should we kind of thing. But Iron Man is really pushing for that. We need to register kind of deal. And and so there's a lot of people they deciding, and the government though they're at the White House talking, and they're like, we have Captain America has is a figurehead now for anti-registration, right? And Iron Man says, push on with the registration, will be your figureheads, and it's the big three of Ant-Man, Hank Pym, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and Iron Man. Um, and you cut to Captain America who's underground, and he has a bunch of villains tied up that they've been hunting down. The Vulture and someone else. They tied him up, and he's kind of leading Shield like behind him to like tracking him and leaving him with the villains behind him. Like, here I'm gonna take out a group of villains and then leave them for Shield to arrest, kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, and while he's doing that, like he makes his own secret Avengers team that are like underground, and then there's the main Avengers team which is fighting like a Doom bot, and the public starts to see maybe if we register superheroes things will be good kind of thing, because they're out in the public fighting like Doctor Doom who's trying to like take over the world kind of thing. And you know back at the Baxter building, right, the Fantastic Four's building, Valeria and Franklin are there. They're checking up on Johnny, who's knocked out from the bottle thing. Reed's making a new project, and Sue goes and asks him, "Hey, what's going on? What's this thing?" And there's like a CD marked 42. And Reed starts hiding things from her. He takes the CD and he's like, "This is classified information. Sorry." And that now at the news, the Daily Bugle has this big post going on. Everyone's like freaking out that Iron Man is unveiling a new project, and they all he's gonna have a press conference kind of thing. And while the press conference is going down, Patriot. I don't know if people in chat or if you've seen Falcon Winter Soldier.
I have not.
Okay. There's a small cameo from one of the characters. His name is Elijah Bradley. His son Isaiah Bradley is Patriot, or his grandson, sorry, is Patriot. Elijah was before Captain America was the first super soldier, and I can talk about his comic. He was in Red, White, and Black. Is the name of his comic. He was the first super soldier, but they considered him because he was African American. They considered him a failure. Even though he did exactly what Captain America did. It's this big thing, and Patriot, this whole big thing with Patriot becoming well, with his grandson becoming Patriot and pretty much the Captain America for the Young Avengers. So Patriot and the Young Avengers are being chased down. They're trying to stop a bank robbery, and Shield, right? They stop a bank robbery, and Shield repays them by arresting them.
Hmm.
The entire Young Avengers roster gets arrested, um, and they're put in like one of those um, like vans that send the prisoners to jail kind of thing. So they were going down to this is all in New York, so they're going down to Rikers, and while they're heading down to Rikers, the guy in the passenger seat, to the driver, he's just talking and talking. And he doesn't realize that the driver is Captain America and the guard in the back is the Falcon. He beats him up. Falcon undoes Wiccan, the Scarlet Witch's son. He undoes his chains and he's like, "Get us out of here!" And he makes like a spell and the whole truck disappears, and they all get out and land in one of these secret facilities Nick Fury has. Um, they get down, they help all the Young Avengers, and they're like pretty much welcome to the Resistance. It's a bunch. I can cover the Young Avengers if you guys want me to. It's a bunch of different characters that we've already seen in the MCU. Isaiah, Cassie, Ant-Man's daughter, bunch of different characters. But they get down, they head into the bunker, and they turn on the TV. And there's the big press conference. Tony's outside. He's there with a mom whose kid died. And
Yeah.
Spider-Man swings in, right? Spider-Man swings in, and he's wearing the Iron Spider suit, the gold and red with the
Right.
thing. And he decides to unveil his big project, and the first superhero, or well, not the first, but the first major superhero to remove his mask and unveil is Spider-Man. He joins Iron Man's team and says, he takes off the mask and he says, "My name is Peter Parker, and I've been Spider-Man since I was 15 years old," and the whole world goes ballistic, right? Spider-Man is the most he had his secret identity hidden since the 60s. This up until this comic, no one knew besides like very few people that he told. No one knew he was Spider-Man. And Jameson faints. He passes out in the middle of the crowd because that's his. He hired him to take pictures of Spider-Man, who is his number one mortal enemy, right? The whole world goes ballistic, and now the Avengers are starting to recruit. The main like public Avengers team starts recruiting. Reed goes to Wakanda, tries to tell T'Challa to join him. But T'Challa's like, we don't like the Americans to interfere in Wakandan business, and Wakandans aren't gonna start interfering with American business. Yellow Jacket and Wasp try and get um who is it Doctor Strange on their side, but Doctor Strange is like, I'm not an Avenger, and I'm not gonna join you guys. I'm gonna try and stop the fighting by feasting for 40 days, fasting for 40 days, not other one, and hoping that by not eating and taking a non-violent approach to the fight, he can convince the Avengers that there's bigger things, bigger challenges out there.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
It doesn't. Tony goes to the X Mansion, talks to Emma Frost. They had a thing back in the day when they were both part of the Hellfire Club. Um, and Tony tells her, he's like, you're gonna leave all your students here in this mansion trapped, and Emma goes ballistic. So Emma Frost, for those that you who don't know, Emma Frost is my favorite character in the MCU, and for good reasons. This is what Emma Frost looks like. Um, she is my favorite character for multiple reasons. For one, she's hot, but for another, Emma is Emma's a psychic who can turn her body into diamonds. So she can read people's minds, but also implement images into their minds. And so the big thing with Emma is that she wanted to teach. She always wanted to teach, and she finally for a while had a school, but the Sentinels came and blew up Genosha, where her school was, and she's the only one that survived, and that's where her diamond powers manifested. So she gets pissed. She's like, "Where were the Avengers when Genosha blew up? Where were the Avengers when all my children died? No, you only care about regular non-mutant kids. Us mutants have to sit in the sidelines and, you know, God forbid we don't join Captain America's team, who's currently trying to save the world from people, and while people are hunting them down, like we don't know how that feels, right? With Sentinels patrolling their mansion, kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So she's kind of like she tells him, I won't join Captain America's team, but I also won't join your team. Now leave us alone, kind of thing. And she sends him like a mental image of what happens in Genosha, like the kids dying and the explosion and the entire island getting nuked. So she goes crazy on him. Um, so Iron Man calls up Bishop, right, who's an X-Men, and he ends up joining with Iron Man, leaving the X-Men and joining Iron Man's team. Meanwhile, while this is all happening, Cap's Secret Avengers, they head over to this place called Geffen Mayer's Chemicals, because Secret Avengers found out that there was like a burning chemical plant and they wanted to go save the day. And when they arrive, Cable, another X-Men character who sided with Captain America, left the X-Men. He's like, I don't trust this place, and he dusts off a sign and it says property owned by Tony Stark, and they thought, because the radio said 400 people were trapped, but it was a staged attempt to get the Secret Avengers to stop before to and enlist before things go bad. And mind you, the Secret Avengers have gotten some. They have the Young Avengers, a couple of X-Men, Goliath, right? A bunch of characters, and so Tony gives them a second. He's like, why don't you guys try to enlist with us, try to help us out, and Cap's like, no thanks. And so Tony goes, all right, fine. If you're gonna fight, if you're gonna play hardball, he knocks out Wiccan and Cloak. The Cloak and Dagger are both on the team. Cloak can teleport, and Wiccan can too. So now they're stuck. They're trapped. He knocked out Wiccan, knocked out Cloak. They can't get anywhere, and the Avengers start just beating on each other. I have a picture of the fight somewhere. I didn't get to post it, but it's a real cool lineup. Like the two teams line up on against the wall, and they start like just having at each other. And
Okay.
you know, Tony starts fighting Cap, and Cap being the American boxer kind of thing, goes he doesn't fight dirty. He starts hitting them, knocking them around. Spider-Man is whooping everybody's ass, like swinging around and being too agile to hit. And Tony decides that he's gonna play dirty, and he has a satellite that emits a sonic sound so that like your body physically can't move. And on top of that, he deploys his countermeasures on Captain America, so he starts hitting him with that. If you remember in the Civil War movie, Friday was like deploying countermeasures, and it started like swinging left and right for him,
Mhm.
predicting the
Mhm.
next move that Captain America is gonna throw. And his jaw's hanging off, like hinged off, like hanging on threads. Hercules tries to step in and help him out, but Shulky and Spider-Man smack him. And then there's a giant lightning bolt strike, and that can only mean one thing. Except we covered this event in the Loki episode. We know that Thor was dead during the event, so the three big smart dudes, Cap, Hank, and Tony, Hank, and Reed, developed a robot version of Thor out of machine parts and a strand of Thor's hair from when he was an Avenger.
Oh shit.
And here's Thor spawning in, and some of the characters are like, "Hey, Thor, it's us." Tony's going crazy and he's trying to register us, and it's not actually Thor, so he beats the crap out of Daredevil and Falcon and all of them who are like, trying to fight. Um, they eventually take down the satellite or whatever, and they all stand up and start round twoing everybody, getting to fight. Um, but Thor doesn't have he's a robot and he doesn't have the human will and that innate ability of mercy, and he takes a lightning strike and throws his like electrocutes like a full laser electrocution straight through Goliath's chest.
Oh.
And Goliath had to have been like 9 stories tall, smashes down onto the facility, and a lot of people get hit with like debris, trapped under rocks, whatever. Hot wires Cable's arm is like it's like the Winter Soldiers, but it's more futuristic. He hot wires like he can like he's a telepath as well. Because he's Jean Grey's son, so he hot wires Cloak's body to teleport everyone out that they can. Whoever can move and head to Cloak teleports out, and they leave a lot of the injured, a lot of the dead, and Sue helps them out a little bit because she's like Goliath just died. He was Bill Foster was our friend. And she like she protects them from she makes like a little force field to protect them from Thor and all the other guys. And she's pissed at Reed that Reed would make an abomination like this. Here's Goliath getting annihilated by Thor, and you know there a lot of people are upset that Goliath died, and you have people on both teams switching sides, right? People on Captain America's team, like we just got our asses handed to us, and if we keep fighting, we're gonna die like Bill. We need to switch over to join the other team, and people on the other team saying we just killed Bill Foster. We can't be on this team anymore, and they switch over to the other side too. So people are switching. You have people mostly like Nighthawk and Stature, Cassie, Lang. They switch over, and Cable as well. They switch over to Iron Man's team, and a couple other Sue, Johnny. They switch over to Cap's team. But they have a huge funeral for him, and the way he is now, they dig a grave for his giant body. And what's up, Nem? But they dig a grave for Goliath's like 20-foot body and bury him underground. And the mom comes back, the one that's loogied Tony, and she's like, what you did was fine. It's no different from a cop shooting a mugger who was trying to stab him or whatever, right? But to me that's a big difference, but
It's pretty
it's
different.
pretty different. One was a superhero trying to do the right thing, and the other one is a mugger, whatever. But Sue
What does
leaves.
she know about
Yeah, what is
moral
she?
morality? What?
Yeah, what a freaking, you know.
Okay. Okay.
I promise, Crown. A lot of people want to hear Moon Knight. I promise I'll get to Moon Knight. He's for some reason not in Civil War, but we'll get to him eventually. But yeah, um, she's pissed off, and you cut to Sue and Reed. Sue does this big special thing for Reed, but mainly because she's leaving his team to join Cap. She makes him fish, brain food, wine, antioxidants, and they have the segs, right? Because it's good for the immune system.
Of
And
course.
yeah, they don't show it, and she leaves him, right? Leaves him with the kids. So now he has to take care of the kids while trying to fight Captain America. And her and Johnny leave to join Cap's team. But while while they leave for Cap's team, Reed makes these nanites and puts them into the some of these supervillains, and the supervillains decide we're gonna make a Thunderbolts team, right, which is the supervillains dressing up as superheroes, and join Iron Man's registration. We can still go so that we can go after the superheroes we want to and kill them pretty much, right? They won't have such a big problem if we go after someone like Captain America and we get to kill him, right, kind of thing, because he's.
Hmm.
So they put him in with nanites, and they set up the new team. Um, and this is the team. You have Jack O' Lantern, Lady Deathstrike, Venom, Taskmaster, Bullseye, and whoever this is. I have no idea who she is. Um, but the next big thing, might be like Trickster or something. But the next big thing is, Goliath and Nighthawk are like, they're getting ready to meet with Tony, but Happy goes down and there's a big deal going on with Tony. He's like, Tony, while he's sometimes late, he's not usually late to meet superheroes, right? So what's going on? And you find out that Spider-Man is trying to defect to Tony's team, and he doesn't have problems. He says, I don't have a problem working for Shield, but locking up our friends in the negative zone and killing, having a cyborg kill Bill Foster, it's a big, it's insane, and you shouldn't be doing this kind of thing, right? And Spider-Man breaks out the window. He starts trying to run away from them, and they deploy the Thunderbolts, right? 15 supervillains, who are mostly Spider-Man villains, saying, "We get to go after Spider-Man. Let's go do
Oh
this now."
shit.
Yeah. And more or less, I have more pictures that I wanted to put up. I didn't get to, but Spider-Man gets his ass handed to him. Jack-o'-lantern rolls in and throws in a gas bomb and blows him up, and
Oh
Trickster
shit.
starts blowing him up, and he's on hallucinogen, so he can't really dodge too well. But his savior is here when two bullets go, and I have this picture. It is the Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find the picture right here. This one is the first one. Right through Jack O' Lantern's grenade, he just bam, and it blows up the pumpkin bomb. Pumpkin bomb hits him in the face, and then bang bang. Punisher kills Jack O' Lantern and the Trickster, and Spider-Man is pretty beat up. He's hurt, and Punisher
Damn.
breaks into that facility and is like, we need a medic now. And meanwhile, Captain America's no better. He has a broken leg, and he's in a freaking iron lung trying to get resuscitated. Here's Spider-Man needing a medic, and Jane Foster, the Night Nurse, they're all working with the Secret Avengers team to try and heal him up, and it's real bad. And meanwhile, Captain America's having a meeting about Punisher because they don't want the Punisher to join because he's a known killer, and they don't really want killers associated with the Avengers. Um, and then they're trying to come up with new ideas to get to get to get the upper hand against Tony.
Hmm.
But Tony has a spy working for the Secret Avengers, Tigra, who starts calling up Tony and letting him know. And so Hulkling, he's actually not Hulk's child. Um, he says he goes to he says I can infiltrate the Baxter building as like Mr. Fantastic or whatever, and because he's a shapeshifter, he's a Skrull child, and he's like I can infiltrate the Baxter building and get the information. He says no, I have a more important mission for you. You're gonna go to Arizona, and I'll give you the details there. And then Frank Castle, Punisher, says I have military training in breaking and entering the Baxter building. You get in, now that they have Susan Storm, she knows the ins and outs of the Baxter building. Um, she can tell him what to expect, and he can break in with his, military training, and that's what ends up happening pretty much. Um, while that's going on, Daredevil was trying to, you know, he was trying to do some things. He gets beat up by Reed and She-Hulk, and they get sent to the negative zone, right? They send him to the negative zone. Daredevil's silent. Reed is giving him a lecture, and then he spits at Reed. It's not a loogie because he has a coin in his mouth, and he goes, he gives him a silver. It's a silver bill, and Reed's like, "What? Why'd you give this to me?" And he's like, "Now you have 31 pieces of silver," implying that he's Judas to their, you know, Jesus. It's whatever. It's like this whole thing.
Okay.
In Arizona, right? This is why they sent Hulkling because they're testing out these Greek gods who are like trying to join the Avengers. So you have like Hermes who's like super fast and Aphrodite and whatnot, and they're being overseen by Hank Pym. Um, while Reed is working on Thor, working like surgery on him on the Thor bot and trying to figure out. They put like Bill's conscience into the Thor bot to try and see if it'll like Wonder Man it, where if you put like human person into a robot, it'll get the morals of the person while still being a robot. Like it, it's a whole thing, and they've done it before with Vision. Yeah, it's a coin. That's he's putting his silver dollar in his mouth. I don't understand. Anyway, um, there's a lot of things going on, and they're pretty much getting ready for round two. Um, Punisher breaks into the Baxter building, and they get told that the security system for the month is based on the human immune system, so it's virtually impenetrable. I mean, I think AIDS has something to say about that, but you know. Anyway, he breaks in. They check out he basically does have George Washington in his mouth. Yes, technically, with that silver coin in his mouth. Anyway, um, anyway, they get the information on what is known as 42, what they don't know about, and it's like the people they lock up know that 42 is the negative zone prison, but like people like Sue and Cap don't know that. Not Cuomo. No, they don't want Cuomo in their mouths. Um, yeah.
They-
Yeah, anyway, so they get the information on the negative zone prison, and this is what it looks like. It's there's a portal in Rikers to send you to, and this is like the lockup area to send you to the prison. Um, so Sue, meanwhile, she's underwater in Atlantis with Namor, trying to convince him because back in the day, Sue and Namor had this awkward romantic relationship kind of thing. So she's like, can you and your Atlantean army join Captain America's side here? Namor's like, no, why didn't Captain America come see me? He's sending you to try and convince me because he knows we had a relationship kind of thing. Um, anyway, um, while that's happening, Cap's setting up like a plan, and some villains show up. Like I'm pretty sure it's like the Green Goblin and something, and they're like, we want to join your team. We want to go good. And Cap agrees. He's like, yeah, okay, if you're willing to go good, we'll let you join your team. Frank Castle shoots them both in the head, like headshots the shit out of them, and they're like, you know, Captain America beats the crap out of him. He's like, why the hell did you do that for? You're a murderer. You're an asshole. He's like, they deserved it. They're rapists and thugs and mercenaries. And he's like, so are you. You're no better than them. And he's like, fight me. And Cap's like, fight back, you murderer. And he's like, not you. You're too good. And Captain America walks out. Luke Cage is looking at Spider-Man. He's like, I wonder why he didn't fight. Spider-Man's kind of like, yeah, because Luke, he's a veteran. He's a Vietnam veteran. He probably looks up to this guy. They're probably pretty much the same person. Cap gets pissed hearing that. He's like, no, we're not, kind of thing. And there's beef going down between Cap's team and Uatu. If you don't know who Uatu is, it's the Watcher. He appears to Steven while he's meditating. He's like, why don't you join a team? Pick a team. And he's like, I can't interfere. If I were to join any team, I'd kill the crap out of the other team, right? I could eliminate them with one word, a wave of
Okay.
my hand kind of thing. So by remaining neutral, I can only watch, and the Watcher's like, yeah, I feel your pain pretty much. Um, so while all this is happening, they get the plans ready. Um, um, at Rikers Island, Cap is with his team and they're already getting ready to free the heroes. A bunch of other Avengers join. Wakanda has Storm and Black Panther join. A couple of X-Men characters join him. Um, but T'Challa, being a big hacker, breaks in and starts hacking the security system of Rikers Island so that it doesn't interfere with, like, so that they don't alarm anyone that they're breaking into the negative zone portal. And while they're there, Captain America, like he frees out, or he's trying to at least go into the negative zone portal to free everyone. But Tony's like, ha ha ha! Well, I'm one step ahead of you. I knew that you were gonna try and break out all your friends, and so I put because I had a spy, Tigra. And Captain America's like, oh, but I knew you had a spy the entire time, so I put my spy in your team. And he's like, impossible. No one could have known how to break into the zone. And he's like, oh, the only people with the codes to break into the negative zone were me, Ant-Man, and Reed Richards. It's like, uh-oh, Ant-Man was in Arizona, and he turned to like the Yellow Jacket, and he shapeshifts into Hulkling, and he's like, yeah, sorry, your Ant-Man is back in Arizona having the trip of his life because I just dosed him up with the whatever I could find.
Oh
He's on a
shit.
trip knocked out. And they, while the team, like, Iron Man's like, we still got you. We still got you on man count. And he's like, oh yeah. And T'Challa opens up the portal, and all the prisoners get freed, and they come out. He's like, I think this should even the odds, and they get ready to fight. Cloak teleports everyone out into the main city, and Spider-Man starts beating the crap out of everyone, web swinging through them. And the T-Bolts start coming in, and they're beating Captain America up. They're like messing up Captain America, the 15 guys, and they're like, I see, the T-Bolts are like, oh, this is easy. Captain America's nothing. And Cap, puts his hands up and he starts blocking them, and he's like, whoa, 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 what's all this? And Captain America's like, just a distraction. And Namor comes in with his Atlantean army, and is like, we're gonna start fighting. And it's like this
What is
huge,
going
what
on?
a comeback from Captain America, am I right? And so Iron Man's like, well, if you have your army, we're gonna get ours. And he calls up the Greek gods from Arizona, and they all rush in and they start fighting. And Cyber Thor comes back in, and Captain America and Tony are fighting, and Tony gets all cocky. He's like, "Oh, you again, old man?" And he starts beating him up, and Cap's like, I'm not gonna fight you clean this time." And Vision phase through Tony and disables his system, and he's like, I can't
What?
move. And yeah, Captain America starts beating the crap out of him. And here's Vision going through Tony and disabling him, and you know there's a bus getting thrown. Someone throws a bus. Sue tries to block it with her or catch it with her force field powers. And Taskmaster's like, I'm gonna take my chance and kill one of these heroes, and he tries to shoot her. Reed does the get down, Mr. President. Yeah, I can do this all day pretty much. And poor man's Aquaman. Yo, no, Namor. Honestly, I think Namor is a lot cooler. I've seen him wield like the Infinity Gauntlet, and he has those little wings on his feet to let him fly, little pixie wings. Anyway, um, you've seen Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you remember what happened to Yamcha with the with the was it the Cybermen?
What
When the
happened?
Cyberman grabs onto Yamcha and blows itself up, and Yamcha's in that like
Yes.
fetal. Yeah, if you want to take a look at at what Sue does after Reed gets hit with a bullet, he gets Yamcha'd as I would refer to it as. Here's a picture of Taskmaster absolutely Yamcha'd. Hercules is fighting Thor, and Hercules is pissed. He's like, "You're no Thor," and he does a Chad move of picking up Thor's hammer and smacking down onto Thor. And I didn't get the picture. It's this real like gruesome image of the engine in Thor's head smashing through the brain of Bill
Oh,
Foster that they put it. So it's like the engine is smashing through and the yeah, the Cyberman did make him look small, but still in that same fetal position. And dude just gets absolutely blasted. Um, like Hercules, with the hammer smacking down on Thor, killing him. And the Secret Avengers, they look like they're winning, right? But when as Cap is about to finish off Iron Man, a bunch of civilians, policemen, firefighters, doctors, they jump Captain America, and they're like, "Hey man, stop fighting him! Stop fighting him!" And he's like, "Look around you. You're not fighting for us anymore. You're fighting for yourselves, for what you guys want." And the town's like Times Square, the Upper West Side is absolutely like blown up. There's fire everywhere. Buildings are turned over. People are dead, right? And Captain America takes off his mask and he goes to the cop and he puts his hand up. He's like, "You can arrest me now." Um, and the cops looking at him like, "I'm about to arrest Captain America. This is weird." And he's like, "No, you're not gonna arrest Captain America. You're arresting Steve Rogers for the damage that's going on." And pretty much he surrenders. The rest of the team either runs away or gives up. Um, with Cap, there was some like small things going on where they were allowed to cut like 12 people were allowed to be pardoned. Um, some of Captain America's team, Spider-Man and Luke Cage, they go underground. A couple of other characters go to Canada to try and get away from the registration laws. Peter puts on his black suit again, the symbiote suit,
right.
and Tony gets promoted to director of Shield. Um, and he's having a meeting with the mom again. He tells her that we had 42 ideas, and the 42nd idea was the idea to make a negative zone prison where we can make sure people in Riker that like we'll lock up the Sandman in Rikers, but the next day he'll be out. It's a lot harder to get supervillains out of a prison in the middle of in another dimension, right? So that's pretty much the event. There's a lot of other cool things with it. If I'm remembering, I know that I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, they put Captain Iron Man puts uh a superhero team in each of the 50 states. So there's a big team everywhere. So there's typically there's not going to be in like South Carolina or Oklahoma or something. There's not going to be some major event going around compared to New York City or California. They're going to have like supervillains off the, left and right. But he puts a superhero team in all 50 states, and that's the end of the comic pretty much. That's how it ends. Um, yeah,
Pretty badass, not gonna lie.
it's pretty big. You know, that was our first event, the Civil War comic, and there was a lot more pictures here. I just couldn't include them all. A lot of pictures here. Um, about here, I'll show you. Just out of files. This is all that I downloaded from today. These are all the pictures I had. Um, I'll see if I can upload them somewhere, like just pictures. Maybe on YouTube or something if I can get the chance to. But that was Civil War, our first event. I linked the Google form in our at the top of chat here. If you guys are interested in voting on it won't be next week or the following week's character. I've already decided those two characters. But I will simply because Shang-Chi the movie's coming out. I'll see if I can get him done for that. Um, I might switch the order between him and the other character we were supposed to do. Just because I know I want to give some people the chance to watch the movie before we cover it. Should I do that or cover him before the movie so that people kind of have an understanding of him before watching the movie?
You should probably give people time to see the movie.
Yeah, so I'll do next week. I'll do the character that everyone want. I'll do the voted character that I already have, and the following week I'll do Shang-Chi after he's been out for a good week. It'll be enough time to discuss his powers and everything. Um, but yeah, that was this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the first event of the Marvel Buddies podcast and the fifth episode, and we'll get back to it next week, guys. And have a good one.
Have a good week.